got the fiberglass cut for the top panel. A couple of, or a few Baltic birch braces. Those weren't in there before, but I figured it'd be kind of nice to have for securing the cables and the gas line, the propane line for the furnace. So I went ahead and put some extra bracing in there, and inside will be obviously the 3/4 inch foam, which will be glued to this floor, this fiberglass panel, and then another fiberglass panel comes up from the bottom. I'm getting to that. Okay, got my adhesive laid down. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fiberglass panel laid in its place. Inside fiberglass is set. Go outside and get the foam put in. All right, foam is put in this shoulder panel, this side panel here, and tomorrow I'll go ahead and get the fiberglass put on, glued in and braced, let it cure overnight, and start getting that slide out built. This bracing worked really well, just using my pocket hole jig and running it into the aluminum. So got some little bit of extra support in there, and also that's where I've got the wire harnesses strapped down. That worked out well. Got the this little piece of fiberglass glued and clamped on underneath the slide out, and got my piece, the first piece. I'm gonna wait to do this piece until I can get this skirt done. But that's glued up and screwed in. Let that adhesive cure, and then I'll of course go through and caulk all these self-tapping screws, the holes that were there, holding everything in place. Once I have these pieces here all cured, I'm gonna go along this phylon where it's delaminated all the way up. You can see that bubble there, and spray some glue up in there, and then clamp it. And then when that's done, before I put my new wiper seal and trim in for the slide out, I'm gonna go all around the slide out in all four corners, all the way around here and up the other side with Eternabond tape and sealant. So I'll wrap everything in Eternabond to get that, you know, all of this area here that's delaminated, that'll all be sealed with Eternabond, and of course this bottom piece as well. This is all, there's no wood in this area except for these two strips that I put in just so I could secure the gas line and the electrical. But those two little Baltic birch wood strips, of course that's marine plywood, so it's a little more rot resistant than what was in there. But if any water gets in here, it's going to sit on the fiberglass, and this is just foam core. But I'm going to seal everything up the best I can. I got all new wiper seal and de-seal. I went ahead and cut that top little piece where the city water inlet goes, notched out the little areas for the little alcove where the bathroom is. And let's get a dry fit. It's that area right up there, so I had to notch for the side skirt, and then this little alcove area where the bathroom is. And the inside, oh, that should fit. Might have to take a little bit off this side. I'll take a little bit off right there. But that edge that all looks good. So I had to make some small adjustments to this piece here, just because the camper's not square. It's a little bit off. So yeah, just if you're doing this and just got to make little adjustments, you can do it with a skill saw or even a hand saw, just to take little pieces off at a time that you need to cut, like on these notches there and there. It's not going to be perfectly square, so just take a saw, or like I did it on the table saw, and just kind of notch it just a little bit at a time until you get a good tight fit. So that looks pretty good. That fits all the way there. So that looks good. It's all tight back there. So that is my city water inlet, and I purchased a new Camco inlet for that. That's brass. It does have the plastic ring, but it's brass fittings. So that's coming. I ordered that on Amazon the other day. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out, and this way and this way, and get my hole drilled for that new city water inlet. And here's the old valve, or the old anti-siphon city water inlet. The new one is basically the same. It's got the brass fittings with the plastic surround, but it's anti-siphon, and it just fits into the plumbing inside the camper underneath the bathroom sink. So got that cut. This panel's ready to go. I'm not going to glue it up yet until I can get the that side skirt done. That'll be next, and then I'm gonna pretty much, this one side is all I'm gonna do right now. I know that there's more rod on the other side, but I'll just tackle that, in a couple of months or something. I'm gonna get this side buttoned up and then use the camper for a while. Make sure that everything is watertight, sealed really well, and then I'll move to the other side. So this 1/8 inch foam, 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch, and there'll be 2 strips of that. So that'll go around the outside of the slide out on the sidewall. And then I think in this box I've got, my new wiper seal. That's got, it's got aluminum inside the rubber, but it's also got this double back tape, which is pretty cool. This is 3-inch wiper seal. I think I've got, my new, this is the new D seal. So again, high quality stuff, matching what was in here before, but all new. And I'll keep this stuff conditioned really well so it stays pliable. And then of course all of my butyl tape. And the butyl tape is for everything, that all the aluminum trim and all the trim that goes around the slide out, and anything that's back behind any piece of aluminum trim that was like on the corners of the slide out walls, that'll all get butyl tape back behind there. So everything's sealed up. Also, any bolts that penetrate, like on my tie down brackets, that'll get butyl tape, and then of course sealant all the way around the bracket. The slide out mechanism bracket, that'll get butyl tape, and then of course sealed with sealant around the outside of the bracket as well. So everything's going to be kind of double sealed, triple sealed. With everything being composite and having extra sealant, I think I'll be pretty good shape. I didn't show in the last video very well, but these side skirts have all kinds of rot. So I'm gonna, before I get to replacing putting the fiberglass on these panels here, I'm going to rip the skirt off and rebuild the skirt. I can reuse the fiberglass, the Phylon, but I'll get rid of all of the wood, and like these corner pieces that have the little radius. I'm going to build those, because that's plywood. I'm going to build those out of Trex decking or the foamed plastic. One of those two. I'm not sure which, but there's another kind of radius piece right there. So I'll go ahead and get all that rebuilt and reinstalled before I get the rest of this stuff put in. The other side's not as bad. It's got a little bit of rot in one of the corners, but I'm not going to worry too much about that one right now. I'll probably rebuild it at a later date. Those can be removed. Those side skirts can be removed fairly easily. So just take them off, the doors come off, and I'll use the Phylon as the jig to cut out my new pieces of fiberglass for the back side, and reuse the Phylon for the front side, so everything kind of matches. But get that I think that foam plastic or the Trex decking, the composite wood, will work really good for those radius pieces. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and get cleaned up, and tomorrow I'll start working on the slide out walls and ceiling. Hopefully get those in by the weekend. Talk to you guys later.